Welcome back, travelers. This week I'll be showcasing some methods to overlap decor in Palia. We'll start off with a switch-friendly section, which PC players can also do, then move on to methods that only work on the PC. These are probably not all the ways you can overlap items, but it's hopefully a good start and can help a lot of you get the most out of your builds. This video does not include overlapping rooms, tents, buildings, etc. Let's start off with the oldest trick in the book, grabbing a friend to help. With the two-person method, you'll want to place both items in a completely different location than their final destination. Give your friend editor mode so they can move objects. You'll each select one of the items and then move them so they're hovering at their final destination. At this point, you'll probably want to count down, as you both need to place the items at the exact same time. They should overlap without issue, but of course it could take a couple tries. And if it looks like it worked to one person but not the other, make sure you both leave the plot and come back to check. Sometimes the game doesn't load the final outcome correctly for each person. You can also use this method for buildings in the overhead housing menu with some limitations. Next, gourmet dessert bowl. I made another video on how the gourmet dessert bowl allows you to move items that are usually locked to the floor and/or ground onto other items. The bowl, however, also removes a lot of the associated items' collision effect, so you can use this method to slightly overlap items. All you need to do is place a gourmet dessert bowl on top of another item that has a surface. This won't work on a clothesline, for example. Then Alt-select, multi-select for Switch users, when highlighting the bowl. This will then allow you to select and move both items, now with less collision. The next method is the builder's block and rug. It removes almost all collision from the associated item, allowing tables, bookshelves, beds, and anything else with a surface to overlap each other. Start by placing a rug, the smaller the better, on any builder's block. Then move the builder's block with the rug on it onto the item you wish to overlap with another. Once the block is on the item, highlight the rug on top and use Alt-select, multi-select for Switch users. This will allow you to select the stack of items, but with almost all collision removed. Keep in mind the block will collide with walls and some other specific areas, so if it's not working, you may need to choose a different area or a different method for what you want to do. This method doesn't work for wall items. However, you can use it to select some wall shelves and place them in the floor anywhere you want, which could lead to some really cool builds. We're now going to move on to the not switch-friendly section of the video and start with 4, quick swap. This method allows you to place items where they wouldn't usually go, including overlapping with other items. Start by having 2 identical items in your inventory. Place one of these items anywhere other than the final destination of the item. Take note of what slot the second item is allocated to in your inventory. Next, select the first item you've already placed and drag it to where you want the final item to be, but do not place it yet. You're now going to press both the number key associated to the item in your pocket as well as your placement key, your left mouse button, at the same time. This should allow the item to place wherever you wish. However, it can take some practice, and the item will always place orientated to where the player is standing. The item is also going to be locked on the grid, meaning you cannot use this method for an item you wish to place on an angle. Another note for this trick is that the error message has to be something is in the way. It probably won't work if the error on screen reads, "This is not a valid placement option." You can also check my video on why a glitch might not be working in the iCards above. The 5th option, cancellation. The cancellation method is a good option for solo builders. Pick the items you wish to overlap together. This can be as many as you want, but we'll start with 2 for this example. Place the main item where you want its final destination to be. Have another decor item in your inventory ready for use as well, and remember its number slot. This can be any item you want. Next, you'll pick up the main item and move it to a new location, but do not place it normally. While the main item is selected and sitting highlighted in a new spot, click the number associated to the item in your inventory. This should allow the main item to currently look like it's in the new spot and you have a different item in your hand, so to speak. Now cancel the action entirely. The main item will remain in its new spot until you swap plots or leave and come back entirely. This will allow you to place any and all items you want overlapping the main item into its original position, so when you return to the plot, all the items will be together and overlapped without issue. This method can be combined with many other hacks and glitches, so when you're ready, try using your imagination and don't be afraid to try new things when it comes to the skills you're learning today. A little disclaimer, as always, please know I can't help everyone who comments, but if you're having trouble with any of the glitches, check out my video on why they might not be working, as well as provide as much detail in any comment you'd like me to help with. And if you know of any other ways to overlap items, feel free to comment below. I hope you found some of this useful, and if you did, please give the video a thumbs up, subscribe if you feel like it, but most importantly, have a very magical day.